What's going on, guys? It's Kyle back to you again with another deck tech for you here in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Alright, today, as you could probably see on the screen, we're running Dark Magicians. Dark Magician, it's definitely rogue tier, but it's a fun one, and it's probably the most second beloved deck in all of Yu-Gi-Oh's history, right behind Blue Eyes. So without much further ado, let's go ahead and get into that deck list. Alright, up first we got 3 Apprentice Illusion Magician. This card is very important for the archetype. 1, you can special summon it by discarding a card. When it's special summoned, you get to search a Dark Magician. Very good card for the archetype. You can banish it from your hand. When a Dark Spellcaster monster you control battles, it gains 2,000 attack and defense. Good consistency and battle protection to boot. Very good card. Up next, we're running 3 DD Crow. Like I said last time, this card is just too valuable not to be running right now. You always want to see it. You always want to have it, so that way you can, banish problem cards from your opponent's graveyard before they can, get access to them. 3 Magician's Rod. This card is very important for the archetype, and it's so important we're actually not running Magician's Navigation because of it. This is the best consistency tool that Dark Magician has, so being able to get this going first every game is very important. Up next we have 3 Dark Magician. You gotta run them if you're running a Dark Magician deck. You don't want any less than 3 because it's very important that you're able to, keep bringing him back, if it gets floodgated or whatnot. You want to be able to see this multiple times. Alright, up next we got 3 Pot of Duality. Duality, very important in this deck. The skill that we're running doesn't allow us to special summon during our first turn anyway, so dropping a Pot of Duality to find Magician's Rod, very important. Up next we got 2 MST. We're running MST because we have Rod and it's at 3, so I would be running Cosmic if I could. Cosmic is very good right now, banishing stuff just to get it out of the way. Very important. Up next, you should be running 3 Dark Magic Circle. I only have 2. I don't really feel like using my Dream Ticket on the 3rd. Who knows, I might change my mind. If you have 3, run 3. This card is very, very important. Being able to add a Dark Magician or spell trap that specifically lists Dark Magician from among them is very important. And one of those is Eternal Soul. Eternal Soul is our replacement for Magician's Navigation. Navigation, very good. Eternal Soul, also very good. 1, it allows you to special summon Dark Magician from hand or graveyard, which is a bonus over Navigation. And then it makes all of your Dark Magicians immune to card effects. So, very, very good. The downside of it, if it leaves the field and it blows up your whole board, it's gonna happen. You're gonna lose games to it. This card is still very good. It's worth running, even though the risks are there. Alright, onto the extra deck. We're just running a host of 7s, some 6s, and a 3. So we've got Dark Armed, the Dragon of Annihilation. You can just slap this on top of a couple Dark Magicians, pop some stuff. Helps you go for lethal. We got Dracosac, again, very good. Just slap it on top of a couple Dark Magicians, pop some things. It just gives you options. Constellar Patoli M7, special summon this on top of a couple Apprentice Illusion Magicians, be able to bounce something either from your graveyard or the field back to the hand. Very good. It's a quick effect. I think. No, it's not a quick effect. That's right. I'm thinking Pleiades. Pleiades isn't in the game, but it's still a very good card. Just allows you to recycle your resources. Big Eye, same as these other 2 7s, just stealing a monster, very good. Volferignes, the Darkest Dragon Doom Raider, another 7 that you could make to destroy a monster, go for game. 1 Ebon Illusion Magician, just allows you to special summon another Dark Magician, allows you to banish something when a normal monster attacks. Very good. 1 Photon Strike Bouncer, It's just a negate, and one the Phantom Knights of Breaksword. Breaksword, very valuable card. Allows you to overlay 2 Magician's Rod that you aren't using anymore, and get a pop out of it. So all in all, the deck is pretty well positioned right now in the meta. So with that, let's go ahead and take it out for a couple test games. Alrighty guys, so we got our dual replays here for you. We're in Platinum. First game is going to be up against Hero Alliance Hero. Deck I haven't seen in quite a while, actually. We end up going first, so hopefully good things are about to happen. I'm going to spoil things a little bit. This game does not go very well for me. But we open a pretty good hand. We got the Dark Magician, we got the Rod, we get the Circle. So gotta activate the Circle. We didn't hit anything off the top. They're gonna go ahead and summon Blazeman, grab Polymerization. So they activate Polymerization. They fuse into Sunrise. They sent Blazeman and Liquid, which is it too. So they're running a 20 card, 21 card deck, something like that. Not very unlikely that they see the 2 of. Okay, so they activate Liquid Soldier, they activate Sunrise, then they draw Miracle Fusion. We DD Crow away. I don't know why I didn't, or why I targeted that. Didn't really matter. They make Great Tornado. Great Tornado effect. We banish that. They activate Neos Fusion. Now this is where I get really tilted. Yes, they dug 10 or whatever, or no, they dug like 7 cards deep into their deck, but to see both one-ofs, Liquid and Neos Fusion, a little tilting. So they activate Neos Fusion. They summon Grand Neos. They use Grand Neos effect. They can't bounce the Dark Magician. So we go ahead and summon back. I summoned it in defense position because I was thinking, oh, it doesn't matter because Grand Neos is going to be going back to the extra deck at the end of turn anyway. Huge mistake. I should have summoned an attack and attacked it, because what ends up happening, they activate Miracle Fusion, they banish 2, they make Neos, Brave Neos, they normal summon Stratos, pop Eternal Soul, and attack for game. Had I sent had I attacked with Dark Magician into Grand Neos, I would have been able to bring back Dark Magician and banish the Brave Neos before the Stratos could have gotten its effect off. Wouldn't have been able to pop. It would have just added something, and maybe I could have taken the game from there. So that's game 1. Tough loss, but it happens. Hero's a good deck. They got a lot of support recently. Miracle Fusion, Sunriser, so can't win them all. So let's go ahead and move on to game number 2. Alright, back here with game number 2. This one is going to be up against an old favorite. It's going to be against Blue Eyes. So we got Dark Magician versus Blue Eyes. Pretty iconic matchup going on here. It doesn't end well for the the Blue Eyes player. I'm just going to spoil things a little bit. Open a pretty good hand. So, and we draw Eternal Soul. So we are set. So we're going to go ahead and activate Circle. They have the Geki break for it, which sucks, but not the end of the world. So they're going to pop the Magician Circle before we get any of the add off the top or anything like that. So not great, but we're going to attack over the stone, which we knew that they had set, banish it with DD Crow. They're going to add back with White Stone of Ancients, with the Sage with Eyes of Blue. We top deck another Magician's Rod, so we get to add Circle again, Circle effect, add an additional Eternal Soul. We're going to overlay them for Break Sword. We're going to activate Break Sword, we're going to pop it, pop the back row, activate Eternal Soul, and then they're going to Seal. So yeah, we just had that in the game, in the bag. What I should have done is special the Dark Magician first, banished the Sage, and then popped the Dark Magician with the Break Sword, and popped the back row. So that way I could recycle the Dark Magician. It's just a little min-max kind of play that will help you increase your win rate overall. That's why Break Sword's in the deck. Very good card if you end up with 2 rods on the field during your turn. So, all right, on to game 3. All right, so we got game 3 here for you. This one is going to be up against Aigami, so we're going against Cubics. Not the most meta of decks or anything, but it ends up being quite a good duel. So I believe they're going first. Yes, they do end up going first, and we open a pretty good hand. Double Rod, Eternal Soul, Dark Magician. So they're going to set 2. We top deck MST. We pop the Sakuretsu armor. Get Magician's Rod. We're going to go for the Dark Magic Circle. I made a mistake here. I set both Eternal Soul when I top decked a Pot of Desires. Terrible foresight on my part. So if you're ever in my position, just maybe don't do what I just did. All right, so they're gonna activate Cubic Karma. They're gonna send a Vijam from their hand. We're gonna banish this guy, the Duza. We're gonna grab the other rod, grab the circle. This is what I was talking about. We're gonna overlay for Break Sword. We're gonna Break Sword, pop the Dark Magician, pop the Dark Magician in their set. We're going to Dark Magician, and they're going to banish the Ascension for their Vijams. So they top deck Cubic Dharma. This one allows them to take no battle damage from their Cubic Seed monsters, or Cubic monsters at least. But yeah, then we pop one of them, we bring it back with Eternal Soul, and we take the game from there. So, thoughts on the deck? It's probably not as good as people thought it was going to be. Yes, it's a very good control deck if that's what you like. If you like control decks, if you like controlling tempo, banishing your opponent's stuff, and, out-resourcing them that way, probably one of the better control decks in the game right now. But it does have some very clear weaknesses. If you don't draw multiple Dark Magicians, and DD Crow is so prevalent in the meta right now, if your Dark Magician gets banished and you're not able to keep bringing it back every turn, it has its weaknesses, and they aren't all very good. So, all in all, I would say that if you enjoy Dark Magician, now is probably the best time to be playing the deck. But other than that, it's definitely not worth building. But do what you do for the sake of fun. Anyways, thanks guys so much again for watching. The response to my first video, much bigger than I could have imagined. So hopefully the second video, just as good as that one. And let's just keep moving forward with it. Alright, thanks guys. I will see you in the next one.